I'm not Thomas Kim either. Well, good evening, graduates, family, friends, professors, adjunct professors, deans, maintenance staff, veterans, federalists, workaholics, alcoholics, the less successful siblings, vegetarians, and everyone who gave us any form of financial help in the past 3 years, welcome. Tonight I want to talk about two things. One, changing the world, and two, being human. My name is Thomas Kim and I'm 26 years old, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. Well, 3 years though, we're very different now than we were 3 years ago. We can now see both sides of every story, and we can think critically about difficult issues. And more importantly, we can make a decision. We can withstand an incredible amount of stress and then forget about it and relax 5 minutes later. We've argued motions, we've recommended rulings to judges, and we've even purchased character and fitness from the Arizona Supreme Court for the low price of $300. We're remarkably blessed and lucky to be graduating in such a time as this. Today, irony is easier than earnestness, and skepticism is easier than faith. The old ideas and institutions have crumbled, and we are called upon to remake the world. And in the face of this challenge, it may be tempting to fall back on the formulas for success that we have learned in law school. Possession of status, ruthless competition, pursued only on your own behalf, big money, corner office, making partner. But at this tipping point of our history, such an approach will no longer get us where we need to go. I actually think it displays a poverty of ambition, the elevation of appearance over substance, of celebrity over character. Short-term gains over lasting achievement distracts us from what is truly important. In contrast, the leaders we revere, the business and institutions that last, are not the result of a narrow pursuit of personal achievement, but of devotion to a bigger purpose, the preservation of a principle, a commitment to better community, or pursuing for eternal values. That's the hallmark of real success. The other stuff is just a byproduct of the larger mission. And material things serve as false indicators that we're actually doing great, although we're actually withdrawing from, instead of rising to, the challenges of this age. And when the harvest is plentiful, none of us can afford to be complacent. And that's why we're going to change the world. We're going to change the world by disregarding all the traditional markers of prestige. The law of this country is noble, but it is not perfect. It is good, but it is not always just. Our laws are made by people just like you and I, not by God. And so my charge for us as lawyers is that we listen to our gut. A willingness to question the status quo, a complete disregard for all the traditional markers of status, and a commitment instead of helping others, making a difference in this world, and bringing this nation closer to true justice. That's the spirit that led a band of patriots to take on an empire and to start this experiment we call America. It's what drove young pioneers west to Arizona, and it's what drove young women to reach for the ballot. What inspired a young man named Cesar to help out farm workers? What inspired a 26-year-old preacher to lead a bus boycott for justice? So change the world by following your convictions, regardless of what other people say. And we're also going to change the world in individual ways. That's what many of us have already done here at ASU, teaching constitutional law to high school students, registering voters, writing wills for veterans, providing supplies to women in need, and doing our part to fight for homelessness through legal aids. Just look at your pro bono distinctions. Congratulations. And when you look in the mirror tonight, after all the partying's done, you may see somebody who's not really sure what to do with their lives. But a young student will see you and see a mentor. so that they can become an attorney one day too. The folks at your homeless shelter will see a way to expunge their records so they can have another shot at life. None of them will care whether you've made partner. They just know that you're making a difference in their lives. And that's how we're going to change the world. The daily grind, the many individual acts, the choices large and small that adds up over a lifetime to an eternal legacy. You may fail, but you're not done. One of my favorites, Thomas Paine, was a failed course maker, failed teacher, a failed tax collector, before he made his mark in history with a little book called Commencement that helped ignite a revolution. And speaking of a fight, there are many people here who have fought for us to get the degree, and we think of them today. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. For me, my parents, they left their comfortable job in the country 13 years ago and chose to work 12 hours a day at a humble job so that I would get a shot. 엄마, 아빠, 감사합니다. My brothers believed in me and encouraged me. 진영이 형, 강형, 고맙고 우리는 쭉. My wife, who sacrificially loves me. 자기야, 고마워. And Jesus, who freed me to live and to help others to true freedom. Thank you, Jesus.
Woo!
In conclusion, we need to be human. We learn to think like a lawyer, but in the process, we cannot forget to also think like human beings. We will hold fast to our beliefs, but we will also have the integrity and humility to change our minds. Logic isn't always strength, and emotion is not weakness. A part of beauty is in the nuance and complication. Good things have bad sides, and good people make bad mistakes. Good rules can have bad results. It's not as simple as good or bad, right or wrong, or right or left. We understand that the grace is in the gray area. And that's what being human is all about. It's not that we don't... That's what being human is all about. And speaking of human, I wanted to say, family and friends, I know we have neglected you in the past 3 years, and we're sorry. It's not that we don't care about you anymore, you non-law students, but it's just that we're very busy, you know. But we very much appreciate what you've done for us. Class of 2018, I've had the best 3 years of my life with you. Congratulations and God bless you all.
We now welcome back.